Well, this post was not on my bingo card for the next Call of the Wild video that I was doing, but I definitely wanted to put something out there because this is different and I really like the direction we're going. Um Today, Vivi posted in the official Discord that they're shifting their feedback system, which was through a forum channel in the Discord, to a completely separate website to help, the process be smooth from us to them. Now, obviously, they didn't say the exact reason why this was done outside of making the system better, but having worked with Discord forum systems for feedback and support and stuff like that before, people not following guidelines and just posting literally anything under the sun, whether it's been said before or not, is extremely common in Discord forum systems and probably a big part of why this has changed. Now, they didn't delete the old forums, they are still present in an archive, so you can go read them, look at them. The devs are still aware of them. It's still on their view list. Everyone can go look at them whenever you please. They didn't just delete them entirely. But from today moving forward, all of the feedback is going to be done through a new thing, which is this website from Abahub. Now, this is gives me old school forum website vibes. Like the way it's set up reminds me of many, many years ago where forum community interactions were very much the norm. So it didn't take me too long to just kind of poke through it. So I wanted to share some just general discovery about it with you. Now, the first thing that I'll go into is when you set up your profile, you'll start seeing a lot of little things like your badges and stuff like that that you can do. And these just give you more points, like by engaging and completing things, by participating in this forum system, you get more G2G points. And these points are used to vote on ideas and posts and stuff to, upvote them to make them more likely to be seen and show them as like a popular idea from the community, which is the entire point of this, to make it just more clear of what the players want so that they can focus on stuff that most players desire in the game. Now, it is based off of, you participating and doing stuff and being along to play. Like this one, the 5 votes, that's something that the devs and community managers for the game set up. We vote on it, and you'll just accumulate over time. Other ones are a lot more simple, and you just get them from being a supporter of the game. Like Hunter one, for example, owning a free DLC, having a trophy lodge, hunting dog, just participating in supporting the game gives you essentially more voting power. There's, contributor gearing up, just like messing with your profile, being registered, unlocking the avatars, which you get through all of these things. Like there's not just the owned ones or spamming posts or anything like that. It is supporting the game and being a part of the community in a very useful way instead of chaos. You can customize your profile however which way you want, but the really important part of this new system comes down to the forums, the votes, and the ideas. Now, these 3 tabs are all very different, and they do go over them in the forum rules channel where they kind of highlight what each section is for and how you should proceed with them. Now, it's easy to kind of get a little bit lost if you've not spent a lot of time in forums of any kind, but the very quick breakdown of it is the forums are designed for your just overall feedback of what is currently in the game. Will probably be extremely valuable on like new update releases and stuff like that to come in and discuss what has been added, what is in the game, how we feel about it, things we, ways that we think those things could be improved, and so on and so forth. Now, there's already a decent amount of posts here for a system that just started up today, um, for various things. Everything is split up by segments, so it's so easy to go in and find like a similar idea or create your own idea to, open that up to the community to talk and see what people think. Now, I'm going to quickly go in with the one I did, um, highlighting a UI improvement, which doesn't actually belong in this section, but it is cool to see other feedback and kind of inspire that conversation, anyways. And this was the first thing I did. I'd been on the site all of 5 minutes and put this up because it's something that I'd already worked on to post in the Discord. So this worked really, really well. But you get a lot of space to, type out your thoughts and give details and information and let other people, chime in on how they feel, what they like, and then upvote it if it's something that they would like to see. Now, obviously, there's going to be so many posts as this goes on, but I think this system is going to be a lot more transparent on like what other people are wanting. It's going to be a lot easier to find posts that kind of match what you're thinking and be able to bounce those ideas around and use it. Now, submitting new ideas is actually what the ideas tab is for like the best changes and ways to, improve the game overall. And they've actually added this has this really cool system where they will tag it on their end on how things go. Where, oh yeah, we definitely are going to do this. Absolutely going to do this. This has been implemented. They have lots of different filters, which is super cool. Obviously, I've done a few myself already. But you can go through and you can vote on ideas, you can comment on them and have discussions about, you know, what you would like, what you don't like. And from, what I was reading, the devs and stuff would chime in as well, which is really cool and not something we'd see a whole lot of in the Discord, which makes sense as people are a little bit crazy. But, going through this, you can see the ideas that, have been upvoted and, what you can really look at. It'll highlight similar ideas when you make the idea. It'll highlight these up based on like your title of the idea. So you will get recommended an idea that's similar to yours based on the wording. So if it's already there, you can just hop on that discussion and upvote it, because once it hits a certain amount, it gets pushed to the devs as a, hey, the community really, really wants this. Make sure to consider this, which is a huge change, honestly. But you can see here, there's so many different statuses where, it's just here, things that they're going to do, absolutely going to do, like the idea, considering, doesn't fit the game, in the game, or they just want to know more about what the thought is. And that, it's going to be really, really cool to see that evolve here and see how things are marked as this system goes on. Obviously, this just started as there's nothing changed as of yet. It's only been a few hours. But that's really going to be a cool way to see the live engagement of the developers compared to our feedback, which is something that we didn't actively have in the feedback forum for Discord, just because it is so chaotic and messy to get in there and like actually go through what people think and what they discuss. I've been there, I've done it myself as a previous community manager for indie games. And this system is going to be better, even if it is very different and it's going to take some adjustment for everyone to get used to as it becomes our normal process. Now, the cool one, another one I'm excited about, is the votes system, which they kind of sort of said that they plan to use to like see the overall ideas and what people think. The first one they put up is just kind of a fun one to see how people feel and how they approach the game. Now, it doesn't quite encompass how I hunt. I voted up close and personal here, which you can see. As a run and gunner, I do a lot of variety. I do all three because it just depends on what I run into and come across. And I'm also a grinder, so this doesn't really align with any of my main play styles. But again, this is a learning thing. We're gonna, both on their side and our side, is going to take some adjustment and learning of like how to approach and do this kind of stuff the most effective way. But Ian, you just throw your vote on. You can talk about the discussion, which you see some of us here, and your points that you've earned by participating are what you use to vote on these stuff. Now, those points do not get consumed when you vote. The points you have are just added to that. So by being a heavy participant, your vote has more weight and can push things one way or another. Now, there's pros and cons with that, obviously, but long term, I think that will be a really good system so that those who are like actively engaged, participating in the community, supporting the developers all the way through, those are the ones that are, I don't want to say like worth putting stock in their opinions, because all opinions are worthwhile to look at and consider when it comes to gaming and like new features and stuff. But prioritizing those that are going to continue supporting the game long term is a smarter business decision, even if it doesn't sound like the greatest thing. It doesn't feel like the greatest thing as a player to hear and consider. Sometimes you just kind of have to step outside the player/consumer box and look at it from, the business standpoint, and that it is something that has to be kind of done a little bit more like that. Now, it was not hard at all to get the points that I have, which I believe, outside of like the moderators and the devs themselves, is the highest number that you can get at this point in time. The only things I'm missing are things that I cannot get more of badge wise, just because those options aren't available yet. So in less than an hour, I was up to the top points. So it's really quick and easy. There is something to keep in mind, though. The only linking option, let me go to the right thing. There we go. The only linking option, unfortunately, is for Steam right now. So unfortunately, console players and people on Epic and stuff like that won't be able to get some of the badge points, like owning the DLCs and whatnot. Hopefully that's something that we can do, they can like add and can be an option a little bit later on. But they did already address that in the official server about how it's just a limitation of the platform right now. It's absolutely on there, we would like to do this list, but unfortunately, with Steam being the main core platform with the largest community, sites and stuff that do linking, always go to Steam first because that's where they're going to get the most value. Now, hopefully they do add that, because people on consoles are obviously still a very key part of the community at large, and then being able to link and get all of those points and fully participate, with their full weight and their support for the game would be amazing. I'm sure it's going to be on there. Hey, we really want this. Let's do this website. Let's get this going, because this website is done with a partnership through Games Together. So that would be really, really cool. But the system overall is pretty simple to take, to jump on. And you see, pulling up some notifications, I've got, idea that was upvoted in a new comment. I'll have to check that out in a minute. But, giving feedback and like going through new ideas and seeing actively what the devs are looking at is a huge, huge thing. This system long term is going to be way, way better than what we had previously. And I'm excited. As someone who used forums as a younger adult, this system is going to be just so much easier for us to use, for them to use, and for us to meet in the middle and see what the community actually wants overall, like from everyone. So this is an exciting thing. Um, I know it's weird and I know it's really different from what a lot of like games and stuff do anymore. People have moved away from forums, and I'm personally excited to see a little bit of a shift back to forums because they were always a really, really cool and useful tool for a lot of different things. But I would love to hear your personal thoughts on like how this has changed, what it looks like, how it functions, you know, and get your own ideas out there. Like if you have a thought, if you have an idea, if you have feedback, hop on, sign up, get on the forums, see if there's a similar post. If not, make your own post. Like the more we put our thoughts out there and work together, the better this game will be for everyone, regardless of how you like to play, what you enjoy. It's all of us contributing is what makes the game even better, even greater, because one person can only come up with so many ideas that tie to how they play, and bringing so many different people together with a thought to help grow one thing can really give some amazing results. So, yeah, let me know in the comments kind of how you feel about this shift, things you would like about it, things you don't like about it. But please remember, be respectful. It's okay if you hate it, there's nothing wrong with that. Just be open minded and kind of keep an eye on it. You never know. You may end up really, really liking it. And if not, that's okay. All of us are here to work together and enjoy the game as it is and as it grows over time. Now, I hope to have another Call of the Wild video next week. Um, so we will see how that goes. Winter Storm kind of put me off a little bit, and I will see you all then.